We're back here at the Star Center Community Rink here in Plano, Texas. Zak here for PackTV, alongside Logan Ward for the final time this year. NC State drops the final game of Nationals 9-1 to Trine University. It was a rough game, Logan, especially not the way you want to go out after this historic season, but nonetheless, it was a great game for both sides, considering the fact that the seniors started the game and ended the game. Davis Hudson, Tyler Alfonzetti, Eric Mira, Sam Banashevitz, and the list goes on, and Joey Hall, of course. Joey Hall did end up getting pulled about halfway through the game. Josh Cannon came in relief. It was just over 5 minutes left. Head coach Gazillo, alongside assistant coach Tim Healy, put Joey Hall back in the net for the final few minutes of the game, and what a way to go out after a long career for these guys. I don't really have any more words there.
Certainly not the way they wanted to go out in a loss like this, but they put forth a good effort. They were in it the whole game, kept making hits, kept trying to make plays, just nothing connecting for them. They even put up a good shot total. Just not able to get things done here. Trine played a great game. They're a tough physical team. Not much you can really say about that.
Multiple goal performances from Trine University players, and of course there was some questionable officiating once again, but there's not much we can go into about that. It happens. Teams got to be ready to be on the penalty kill no matter what. And nonetheless, it was just rough all around. But let's talk about that final goal scored by NC State. Let me give you a second to guess who it was. All right, that's a second. Of course, it was Sam Banashevitz who got the final goal in this game. Beautiful shot from the point right there by Cam Mazakowski, tipped in. And it was just, what else do you expect?
No, that's what we've come to expect from the captain. It was a great way for him to go out scoring that last goal, basically in the last minute. You always love to see that from Sam, so seeing that right there was just an epic way to end things for him.
Of course, the first period hurt, and it was similar to what you saw on, I believe it was Friday, when NC State faced off against UMass Amherst, where the first couple of minutes, everything just went completely and utterly wrong, and in this case, it really changed the momentum throughout the course of this game here, Logan.
Yeah, very much so. State just was constantly behind. Trine took control of this one quickly, and the Thunder just did a great job of keeping everything in their side. They did a wonderful job just maintaining their momentum and continuing to score, despite the fact that they were already up. They took control of this game, and they kept it all game long.
And of course, Trine had their Thunder and had their Lightning. And it was really hard to see NC State go out the way they did. And we're going to recap their entire season just after we interview both head coach Mike Gazillo and team captain Sam Banashevitz. And heading into this one, you thought this team would really be able to come out on top with the way they were coming in on the bus and in the locker room and the way that they were acting at breakfast in the hotel even. I mean, this is a team that has become so tight-knit, so well put together that this is a brotherhood that these guys are showing on here, and it really shows on the ice the way that they all stood up for each other, the way they all fought for each other. Elaborate a little bit more on that, Logan. This is a special team.
Well, this is just a special group of guys. Every single guy is a character in and of himself, and they all mesh together perfectly on this Icepack roster. There's a reason they made it this far, and a big part of that was because they are such a unit. They do a great job working with each other. They all get along. It's really been special. It's been a special thing to watch all season long.
As we await head coach Mike Gazillo and Sam Banashevitz, we're going to take a break here on PackTV. We have a lot to talk about, of course, of the entire season, so if they don't come right away, we got you covered. We're going to talk about as much as we can because there's a lot to think about on this very historic NC State hockey season. We'll be right back. Still awaiting head coach Mike Gazillo and Sam Banashevitz. Zak here for PackTV alongside Logan Ward. And as we wait for them, I want to talk a little bit about Joey Hall and his historic career here at NC State. Has been the #1 for quite some time, even when Calvin Stone came in just before we became broadcasters here. But there's a rich history with this team. Started a majority of the backyard brawls. Really got the fan base going there. Of course, no one can ever forget on his stick during the backyard brawl. I believe it was back in October. I'll never forget it. It was either the backyard brawl this year or last season, but I'll never forget this. And I pointed this out for the first time as well. On his stick, he wrote the ever so famous acronym GTHC, which is go to heck, Carolina. I can't curse on the air, so I won't do that. But nonetheless, he's done a lot of great things for this team, for this school, and of course, he's been a stalwart of really just what true class is. Elaborate a little bit on what Joey means to this team here, Logan.
Well, Joey means a lot to this team. You know, he's been that starting goaltender for so long, and he's had such a good career. Again, I think he capped off his senior season very well. No, of course, not in this game, but just making a run at nationals. He's been an absolutely fantastic goaltender all season long, had one of his best seasons of his career. So really, he's just something special. He set a gold standard for what the team can expect in net for years to come.
Tyler Offenzetti as well is one of the more special players that you're going to find on an NC State hockey team, and we haven't had much interaction with him, throughout the course of, the time that we've been broadcasting here. But every time that we have interacted with him, he's one of the nicest guys you're ever going to meet. An amazing, incredible scholar, has been accepted into multiple medical schools, including Duke and Penn State. There's a lot to talk about Tyler Offenzetti, and it's exciting to see where he's going to go after this. But he's been a lot to this team as well, really fitting well on that third line there with Trevor Merchant and Ryan Kinney. Of course, the heroics in that incredible Delaware game, 5-4 victory, pulled away with that amazing goal there. And I'll never forget Coach Gazzillo. I asked him about it, and he put it in such a great way. I put Alfie on that first line between Sam and Lath. He really needed it. And all I saw when he scored the goal was a little ping in the net. I'll never forget that, because I think that's the best way to put it. You have so many great guys that come in clutch moments there. Logan, talk to me a little bit more about what Offenzetti means to this team.
Well, Offenzetti certainly has had a career where he's been that glue guy. He's one of those guys that we haven't talked about as much as some of the other seniors on this team, but he's been such an important player on that third line. Like you mentioned, he's come in clutch in so many different moments, scored so many key goals for this team. One of those guys that really, although he doesn't get talked about as much, he does his job and he does it well.
Eric Mura as well comes in from a UNC Charlotte. He came in as a transfer just, believe it was last season, not too long ago. He's come in and he's really made his own on the team. A little bit of a quieter guy, but nonetheless, he's somebody that has really come in big for this team. 2-goal performance, of course. Tournament MVP in the ACCHL tournament, which is huge. And he comes in clutch during playoff time. Did a lot here. Eric Mura.
Well, being the ACC MVP was an absolutely great thing for him. He did an absolutely fantastic job out there. He came in as a transfer and quickly made a spot for himself, carved out a role. You can't ask for much more out of Eric Muir. He was a fantastic defenseman and one of the quiet leaders of this team.
And we have a lot to talk about Sam Banashevitz, and there's, over the course of the time that PackTV has been covering NC State hockey, I think Sam Banashevitz has been one of the most talked about players, that we can talk about, and there's just so much to say about him. So let's quickly just try to recap an amazing career by, of course, number 2, Captain Clutch, somebody that most of youth hockey in North Carolina looks up to, Sam Banashevitz.
Well, he's just a special player. He's a special guy, and again, like you said, there's a reason that all those kids look up to him. He's a fantastic player on the ice, but he's an even better guy off of it. He's one of those guys that he's a leader of this team for a reason. He's the captain. He's this guy who has organized this team. He has spearheaded this attack into nationals, and getting a goal here in this nationals game, this final showing against Trine, really special player in the end of a very special career.
There's so many more players that we can go on about. Even Davis Hudson coming in. He's played a couple seasons here, and somebody that is establishing himself as a great, great player, and he will not be back next year, but he may be back the year after. He's going on a special studying occasion right there. But Logan, Davis Hudson, another glue guy there.
Another glue guy, yeah. He's one of those guys that we don't talk about as much being on that defensive backup line, but he's done a great job when he has come in. He's been that key player. You can plug him in and have faith that your defense will still serve well. Coming in relief of Ellis Rushford is always a difficult thing to do. Having that energy and that physicality, but Hudson was able to do that, and he's definitely one of those players that will be missed. But we might see him back, like you just said.
Still awaiting head coach Mike Gazzillo and Sam Banashevitz here of the NC State Icepack. We'll be right back. Due to time constraints, we had to talk to head coach Mike Gazzillo and Sam Banashevitz back at the team hotel. Here they are. Here with head coach Mike Gazzillo of the NC State hockey team, Zach here for PackTV. Coach, it was an incredible season, and it's a rough way to go up, but nonetheless, you got to be proud of your guys.
Extremely proud. I mean, it's not the end result that we wanted, but that doesn't overshadow everything we accomplished this year. The team, a lot of firsts this year. First team make it to nationals, first team go undefeated. I mean, it's just a lot of firsts, and that's what you think about when you think about this season, not like a bad game or a bad weekend.
What was the moment that you realized that this team was something special? There's been a lot of moments this season, obviously, but what's the one thing that sticks in your mind the most?
That's a good question. I would say, as you're looking at the guys in practice or before the season starts, and you're looking to see what they can do and everything, you're like, yeah, we got something here. as we go about. I think the one game that really kind of solidified my thoughts that we would have an incredible year was the Delaware game. Just because it was 60 minutes against an incredibly good team, and on the road, so right after getting off the bus, and I think after that win, the guys showed a lot of resolve and a lot of heart. And I was, again, you'll just listen to the things that are being said on the bench and how they're talking to one another and everything, and you just knew that there was something about this group that was a cut above.
And it's an incredible group of seniors as well. We're going to talk to Sam Benishevitz here shortly, but talking just about all of your seniors, Tyler Alfonzetti, Eric Muir, Ellis Rushford, Sam, and Davis, and everybody who's just going on down the list who is going to have their last year with the team. Just elaborate on them and what they've meant to you and the program.
Yeah, you left Joey out of that.
Of course, my apologies.
About is no. I have to sometimes make sure I get everybody too. It's you can fill their skates, but never really fill their shoes, if you know what I mean. The leadership is second to none. Sam has been with us for 5 years, and his name is just synonymous with the ACC. And again, I think in the locker room, how many guys were played this first year on the team, and a lot of hands went up. And it was a pretty serious accomplishment for that many new guys. But what did they know coming into this season? They didn't really know how things worked. It's up to the leadership, and it was really led by Sam to bring them along as to, this is the way we do things here. And so my goal is that, hey, guys, you like what you do, you like what you see. As you now step up into the next, year of school, and we have the new guys come in, build on what you had when you walked in here. And I think if we can get that going, we're going to be pretty successful for a while.
And the biggest thing is, of course, what do you have to look forward to next year? I know you need to process the day and make sure that you guys, do whatever you need to do. But heading into next year, there's a lot to look forward to.
Oh, yeah. Robo and Riley and Parker, what a year they had. 3 freshmen together. Once I got the 3 of them together, they just kind of lit it up. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with for a couple of years. We've got Devin Halco and Ian on defense. Cam, what an outstanding weekend Cam Mazakowski had. He was just solid. Discipline. Best hockey I've seen him play. Very impressed by him. Eric Todd, work like so hard on. All the guys. It's not really fair to leave anybody out of this, but we've got an excellent crowd coming back, and I think we've good things ahead.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, to wrap up the year, we wanted to thank you for handling with all of our antics here, and it's an absolute pleasure to be working with you and with the team as well.
Yeah, thanks. It's great having you two around. We really do appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Anytime, Coach. And now off to Sam Benishevitz talking with myself from PackTV. Here with team captain Sam Benishevitz. Here's Zach Solai here for PackTV. And Sam, this is not exactly a post-game recap. This is a post-career recap here. An amazing 5 years here at NC State. Talk to us briefly about how far you've come as both a captain, a leader, and how far you've seen this team and this organization and this program come.
Wow. I think, I came here in 2014, 2015, and, this team was already good. We had a great team, great leadership, and, nobody really knows this, but we had a pretty solid following then. And compared to now, just the following that we've gained over the past 5 years is just a tremendous growth, 1,000% at the minimum. So and we've got the fans to thank for that. We've got you guys to thank for that. You guys have always helped us out in any time. So, career-wise, I took a year off after high school. I played up in Maine for a year, played junior hockey up there, and then decided to come back home and come to NC State. NC State's always been a dream of mine to go to. And looking back on it now, only having been here for 5 years, I wouldn't have changed anything for the world for it. So it's truly been a pleasure to play here. I've certainly enjoyed it, and I wish this team nothing but the best. I know they've got the right staff, they've got the right leadership in place, and I know this team's going nothing but north from here.
Obviously not the outcome you guys wanted today, 9-1 loss there against Trine University, but the emotion in the locker room afterwards, it was solemn to say the least. But what do you remember the most from what everyone was saying in the locker room? I think I saw something from the NC State Hockey Twitter that was talking about they're not sad because you guys lost, but you guys are sad because it's over.
Yeah, no, I think that's it right there. Once again, nobody expected us to be here, and I think we shocked a lot of people throughout the regular season, throughout regionals, even yesterday with a win against Northern Colorado. So I think we try to focus on that. Obviously, we played three very solid teams this week with Trine and UMass and Northern Colorado. And yeah, it's not the result we wanted. Obviously, we come here to win a national championship, but just looking back on it, just the experience, this is our first time here. This is the first time NC State hockey's ever been here. So, going into it, you always hope for the best, but at the same time, you got to be realistic. A lot of teams, some of these teams, UMass has probably been here every year for the past 10 years. So, where it might be the ACC playoffs for us is our big tournament, this is their big tournament for them. So, I wish them the best. I wish all the teams in this tournament the best that are still remaining. But no, we had a fun time here this week, and it's certainly a great opportunity for everyone that's going to be on the team for the years to come.
28-2 this season is no shortage to be, looked at or looked down upon. What moment did you realize that this team was something special?
I think that George Washington game when we were that home opener when we were down 3-0 after the first period. Obviously, we had a major letdown that first period. And just for us to be able to come back, I think that was our third game of the season, I believe. So just for us to be able to come back and win, 1 goal in the second period, 2 in the third, and then Riley to cap it off in the overtime, I think that just set the tone for the rest of the season. I was like, hey, boys, we're not going to lose. It doesn't matter to who. It doesn't matter who we're playing. I know we've got some tough teams on the schedule, but we know if we set our mind to any opponent that we can take them out.
Are we expecting a 6th year from yourself?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think the parents would approve of that. Maybe if a master's program came along that I found interest in, but at least for undergrad, no, this is it for me. So, and I'm pretty certain there's going to be no master's. So this is my final game today, I'm sure.
Well, Sam, it's, I've only been here for 2 years, but I wanted to say thank you for everything you've done, handling with our antics here at PackTV and making sure that we're able to bring the best coverage as possible to your family and to the friends and the fans. So from the bottom of my heart and on Logan's part as well, just wanted to say thank you and best wishes going forward.
You guys have done the best for us possible. Without you guys, we'd be nothing. So you guys are the only reason why we have a following. So with all your promotions, all the antics, coming out to covering our games, you guys have just done a tremendous job. So on our behalf of the Icepack, thank you.
All right, Sam, thank you very much. Sam Benishevitz, captain of the NC State Icepack.
An amazing job by two really great guys, Sam Benishevitz and, of course, head coach Mike Gazzillo. Two guys we look up to a lot there, and they've meant so much to this team there, Logan.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Two of the forefront members of the Icepack, two of the guys you think of when you think of Icepack. Really special guys, and again, Sam will be sorely missed going forward.
And, of course, we can't talk about seniors without talking about I'll Kill Ya, Ellis Rushford, somebody that we've enjoyed talking about a lot through this time, one of the most highly penalized players in NC State hockey history, but nonetheless, he's meant a lot to this team, a former U.S. Marine. Talk about his importance on that first line.
Well, he's just a key player on that first line on defense. Like you said, one of the most physical players I've ever seen out there, just a fantastic guy. Really does a great job on defense, pressuring his opponents. Physical play, he'll punish you if you try to take a shot on goal. So his absence will definitely be felt next year. That defensive line won't be the same without him.
Well, Logan, this is our final time together for this season, and it's a little bit sad to see NC State hockey just go out like this, but nonetheless, to everyone who's been watching, fans, family, parents, friends, anybody who's been following these guys, and we wanted to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for allowing us this opportunity to come to you guys and really bring you guys the best of NC State hockey. It's meant a lot to us, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a really fun season. Some great opportunities have arisen. We're going to take this summer, become even better at what we do, and we'll be back next year, Logan. Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah, better and better than ever.
All right, guys. Well, for the final time this season, on behalf of our amazing crew here at PackTV, Brandon Boucher, our director, alongside Kayla Glova, who directed us in the first half of the year, Mary Bristol Schneider, all of our great camera people, and everyone else at PackTV, on behalf of Logan Ward, I am Zach Sawaye. We will see you next season for NC State Hockey.